Fade in on.
But yeah, that's what I did. I had to select them though, because some of them were just reviews, and I didn't want to delete the podcast, so I had to go
Oh,
through. Luckily, I made it easy for myself because all of them was in like the membership, so I was able to get to them quickly and know which ones.
hey, what is it like to have that like?
So, it ain't like nothing unless people subscribe. I mean, I got a few people sub to it, but like I said, it ain't really nothing unless you subscribe. I gotta take off Golem Dungeon Rush. Gotta take that off too.
Pull 'em down.
It was a one shot I did of a series on Tappers, but I ain't taking no chances with these niggas.
Ah, but Jesus.
I know, fam. I ain't taking no chances with these niggas. Videos will be deleted. Then I got Suicide Class Hunter. That shit will be deleted. Craziness, man. All you want to do is entertain. They don't want to let you be great out here. They don't.
Never.
Never.
Christian, what's going on? New place, Christian. Yes. You want to
Wow.
see the
What?
stuff that's behind that was knocked over. That's most of the everything else. Hold on, Blaine. I mean, like, I'm not messing anything up. Like, Seraph is not here, so I got to make a whole new scene. I got to get everything like set up. It's a process.
Shout out to the process.
Shout out to the process. What was scary? Did I miss something? Something happened that I didn't know about?
You have a ghost in your background.
Don't tell me that, cause I will knock everything. I will knock it.
I think that's all the stuff off my
Hold on,
chest.
hold on. It's bright on this side of my face right here. Hold on, let me
I know
try
that
it.
shit. I know that shit hot because my shit get hot.
Just for you.
Cause
It's
my
still
my
it's
life.
still light right here, but don't know. It's downstairs has like
Ooh, look at somebody getting fancy, boy. That man say true lights.
no, I mean as in two lights in this. One light right here, the one
You ain't got a lot of me, fam.
it is meant to be a man cave. Look, pool table in here. Now I got the up here, but I'm looking at the box. Need
You
to
mean the
break that
Xbox?
out. Hold on.
You mean the Xbox you don't use, sir?
Nah, I used it for Netflix.
The disrespect.
Extra bright and hot. Look, y'all are look. I would need for y'all look, both of y'all.
Cool.
Blaine, Christian, I don't need for y'all to turn y'all cameras on and then stream something and tell me how easy it is.
Well, Christian does stream, don't he?
Yeah, Christian does stream. He don't use his camera. I need y'all to turn
Christian
y'all
streams
cameras.
what?
What do you mean? Christian streams
You
like
know, Trent don't be in the
yeah,
Discord,
he
fam. I
don't
don't
be on
know
this. Good, never mind. You're
why
right.
you shocked about that.
I thought about it. I was like, he don't. Christian streams like basically he streams soul leveling, streams debate.
With his voice?
Yeah,
And y'all niggas ain't never lobbed the link to the channel or nothing. I could have been showing him love.
he's in
He
the
in the
Discord.
Discord.
Again, we know
Oh,
where I'm not at. That's in the Discord.
this man here.
Yo, all right. So yeah, he does all the series we do, but he does uh talks about the differences between the light novel and web
Yeah,
series.
pretty much he goes into like explanation explaining why things are the way they are. If that makes
You did
sense.
do slime. I have not seen you do slime before.
Who did slime?
He said he did
Don't lie.
slime.
Don't lie to me, sir. I don't need lie. Bro, it's still
There, boy,
why this
you're here, but we're not here.
you're here, but you're not here.
There.
You're there.
There's where? In the call? In the chat?
Yeah,
This man.
he did slime yesterday. I just started getting notifications or something. I just I almost get every like Discord notification. I don't really pay attention to how I'm moving an engine at the moment. Oh, Seraph, it's nighttime, bro. What you mean moving an engine at the moment?
It's Seraph. Sometimes you don't want the answer to these questions.
Seraph be doing like he doing it for a
And
friend,
that's
probably.
facts.
Seraph be
Seraph does
doing
a
it for a
lot.
friend, actually.
Seraph does a lot, man.
That's how you look. Look, Seraph is a good friend. But he's a
Seraph is a
youngin.
great
He be
friend.
doing stuff for his friends at night. Like,
Facts. He a great
oof,
friend.
great friend,
Great friend.
great friend. But I would not do that
Maybe.
at my old age. No, sir.
Not for damn nutter, huh? I feel you, fam.
Our grind don't stop.
It do when it run out of gas.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we find it back in Georgia finally, but all I'm saying is like I didn't make my friends help me move at all. I paid movers this time. Like, I was not about to move 2 houses.
Blame me on that one, my dear sir. I haven't even shared the damn whatchamacallit. Oh, yeah, I'm still deleting videos. I think I got them all. Just trying to check. Trying to check, people. Trying to check.
Oh yeah, he did come on TV podcast not too long. That was
Who?
Christian.
Yeah, he did.
Is he?
That he did.
I thought Christian was black this whole time. I don't know why. I thought he was.
You thought it was
It's
what?
a safe assumption in the community, on our side of the community these days, at least.
Yeah, I thought Christian was black this entire time.
I guess.
But
That's all I can say.
well,
That's all I can say about that one.
you guess like you
Yeah.
guess. I saw the Discord Avi, and I was like, what? Do my eyes deceive me?
Maybe it's just I never thought that.
Well, you know what? I mean, like I heard his voice, and I was like, you know what? That don't mean nothing. It is what it is. But fooling me is not very hard right now in my life. Too much going on.
Be like that, bro. Be like that.
Earlier, did you say baby Groot, or you got a baby coming?
No, baby Groot. What?
No, I'm just
talking about how we
Oof.
both have baby Groot on our wall, sir.
Yeah,
Shout out to baby Groot, by the way.
I have a question for Trent off stream because personal.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't
I'll
know.
say it.
I have a question because I see it on the.
Well, if it's on the gram, just ask it,
Yeah,
baby.
on the
We
gram.
live,
You got the youngest one. Is the oldest one yours too?
the oldest?
Yeah, no.
That
I
you be
mean, you
seeing
got the
on there?
youngest one.
Like the half, like the mini, like grown child you be seeing on that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her oldest.
This
That's
nigga
not
say
from
the
my
mini
loins.
grown
Oh,
child.
okay, gotcha. That's what I've been wanting that forever.
Yeah, she had one whenever she was 3 whenever I came in the picture.
Okay. That's all I want to know. I was trying to figure it out forever.
Yeah, so we've got her, then we have one together, and I have one outside.
Oh no.
Yeah, go to the Instagram. You'll see the boy. I got a boy and a girl.
I've never seen the boy.
He's literally on the Instagram. He just looks basically the same as the girl does because they both have curly hair. So nobody ever really can tell them apart unless they've seen them.
I didn't know there was a boy. I just see through my life in the flux.
Yeah. So 2.5 in total.
Jesus.
2 from me. 2 that are biologically mine.
I didn't know there
3
was a boy.
total.
I haven't seen a boy ever.
Yeah, bro. Go back on the. It's like
I might have to go back because I did never see a boy. I knew that was.
Yeah, bro.
When you're hot,
third picture there.
Because you was talking
I just
about
went to it. Third picture, top row.
You said multiple, and I was like, "Oh, the 2 girls." That's what I kept thinking. Like, okay, 2 girls.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, yes, that's at this point she's basically mine as well.
Yes,
but
I understand.
Yeah,
but I was thinking, okay, right.
Yeah, I'm old out here. Well, shit, you older than me.
Yeah, I know, but still, shit.
Yeah, I'm just irresponsible, clearly.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Well then, soul leveling. Um,
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Solo leveling time, baby. Revenge Woo, Monarch Woo, Dead Woo. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Crazy things happen in these streets, man.
This was a sad day, chapter wise. 10 out of 10 chapter, but this is a sad day.
Rip.
9 out of 10 sad day. 9 out of 10.
For those who haven't seen it, if you just happen on the chat, my reaction's on YouTube. My reaction's not on Twitch. I'm just having stream issues, so I'm not even trying for a little bit. But yeah, recorded reaction, no panel shown, reading off the iPad.
Good. Okay, you're fine then. Everything's fine with that. I'm about to say. So, I mean, I don't know, JD, did you do the reaction? Is it on Patreon or?
Yeah, reaction on Patreon, people. If you want to, support your boys, see the reaction as well. Head on over to the Patreon.
It was on Patreon. I didn't know it was a Patreon. I was waiting for it all day. Sad boy hours. Yeah, Jago. It is sad boy. Look, I just we knew what was gonna happen, right? Okay.
Yeah, we saw it coming.
Anyways, let's get it started. I am JC, aka alwaysjcarson on Twitch. Most of my stuff will be on Twitch. Every now and then I will throw some up on YouTube. alwaysjcarson 2, which it is. That's what the new channel is. TheOtakuFix, JD. How you doing, sir?
What it do, baby? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just out here in these streets trying to stay safe, stay safe in these streets. Don't want the channel be deleted. All that good stuff, man. But other than that, sad day, rip. And yeah, man.
Once
and
again,
you spell legend wrong, bro.
look, it didn't give me a little red mark at the bottom, so I have to fix that later. Anyways, everybody, if you're looking for T-Bait from TheOtakuFix, aka JD, it'll be on there for 1 week until the next chapter comes out. Then he will delete it. Then it will be on Patreon. Therefore, go watch the video before the next week. We'll see that. Trent Money, aka Trent Monet. How you doing, sir? How you doing? How is the day going for you?
Good, man. Good. Like I said, good chapter. Sad day. Good chapter.
Sad day.
It's sad.
We didn't want to shed any tears on the stream that I was on. It was rough out here. Like, one of my favorite characters died today. But before we get to that, I was a little afraid. I didn't want to read the chapter today, guys. I was a little conflicted. I didn't want to read a chapter. I didn't want to have another Thomas Andre PTSD happen to me today because Jinwoo is stupid strong right now. And I didn't want him to be stronger than his next opponent because there are no other opponents after this.
Right.
The Monarchs, apparently, from what I know, are the last opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to read a chapter. I was hoping that he didn't body the Frost Monarch off the rip. So look, tell me how your thought process was going into this chapter today. Trent, how was you feeling about chapter? Do you think it was gonna be what it was, or did you think something different was gonna
I can't remember. Did we discuss it last week? Was I there?
Actually,
you was there.
Yeah.
If you
I
fell asleep,
I think I was there. No, did I fall asleep? I don't think I fell asleep.
I don't remember, honestly.
I think that we were, well, in my mind, I felt like I made the prediction that he was going to get away or try to get away, but I felt like it would be cool if he did kill him. And, made it kind of even the grounds a little bit or even the but it kind of went as a semi-expected. You know, like I said, it was a toss-up. He could have killed him. The guy could have got away. He ended up getting away. Ish.
Okay, understandable to me.
Of course, I expected the chairman to be dead as well.
Damn it.
All right.
Well, how'd you feel about the chapter? What did you think was going to happen? Like, did you think what happened during the chapter was going to happen last week? JD.
Me? Did I think what was gonna happen?
Yep.
Oh, you goddamn right. I thought it was gonna happen. I knew it was. I mean, it was in our face, man. They pretty much was like, "Yo, this man's gonna die next chapter. Say your respects now." And just go along with it, man. This the last ride for this man. But I got some stuff I want to talk about a little bit later as we keep going, as far as the end of Solo, man. Because spooky out here, bro.
The
Spooky.
end of Solo. Before we get
End
to
of
the
Solo.
end of Solo, okay, I have concerns and issues. My concern and issues is that Jinwoo at this current moment seems to be every time he goes against an opponent, I'm gonna say after the Baron fight, because let's be real. The Baron fight, he almost lost that fight if it still didn't throw the spear and, you know, interrupt the attack that Baron was gonna do. Jinwoo was gonna lose. That's how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Turned on. Anyways, so after that, Jinwoo has not had a hard. He had a mid-diff fight, but he hasn't had a really difficult fight since then. Maybe the Architect, but you want to consider that one mid-diff fight. Jinwoo hasn't had a seriously hard fight since the Baron fight. I didn't want a Thomas Andre. I lost a bet on that. That's gonna scar me for life. For
Makes
life.
sense, bro.
Yeah,
That
I
makes sense.
understand. Like I had to pay a
As
troll
it
label.
should.
Damn it. As it should. It is, but once again, I don't want the Monarchs to be weaker than Jinwoo before they even fight him. Y'all all saw what happened. Are we saying the Monarchs are weaker than Jinwoo because he got a dagger in the back of his back in the middle?
Yeah, but he wasn't even looking. I mean, he still caught Sung Jin Woo up in the eyes.
That's true. That is true. This is all facts.
So are we saying that he was, after still getting stabbed in the back, he was still willing to put them hands up?
You talking about Jinwoo or the Monarch?
The Monarch.
I would assume so.
Well, what was the question?
So I'm saying the Monarch he got stabbed in the back by the daggers. So are we saying that he's still willing to fight Jinwoo without help? Because the Monarch seem to be jumping people these days. So
I will say this: he may not. I don't know, because he was surprised at how many shadows Sung Jin Woo had, so he may realize that he can't beat him 1v1, and maybe the Frost Monarch isn't by any means the strongest monarch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, at this point, I don't know if he could take him 1v1 for sure, but he definitely is on a similar like strength level, somewhere around there.
okay, so in your opinion, both of you, why do you think the Shadow Monarch didn't want to fight to begin with? Like he was like, "It's not time to fight. You leave." What was the point of that?
Uh, I think the point of it was just plot. It's supposed to be the end battle.
In battle, but I mean, there are plenty of monarchs out there still. So what's the point of him running away? But he didn't have to.
Jinwoo taking everybody on at one time, bro.
Okay. So, I mean, like I would think to myself, the Frost Monarch knows of the Shadow Monarch, right? The first thing he said to him was, "Why didn't you like contact us in whatever way they have contact. When he quote unquote came back to this reality.
Right.
Because he didn't know that Jinwoo still has his consciousness. He thought that the original Shadow Monarch came back. So, like, that tells me number one, he can't really tell what happened, and he expected the original Shadow Monarch to come back. But wasn't the Shadow Monarch betrayed? Beginning with,
If I'm not mistaken, he was betrayed.
So does that not mean the other monarchs don't know about the betrayal?
If they, I would like to say they do.
Hold on. So we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had the Beast Monarch and Baron, which is like the Demon Monarch, and on the betrayal, right? So maybe the Frost Monarch, maybe was it the Insect, maybe the Giant Monarch doesn't know about the betrayal that happened.
The Giant Monarch? Well, the Giant Monarch's dead, right?
Well, he's dead now, but he wasn't dead whenever everything happened.
That's the thing. To your point, like, okay, even in the scene where we saw him and the other Beast Monarch or whatever you want to call the dude or whatever, we don't know who they were referring to in each instance, but like we would assume that they knew that Sung Jin Woo wasn't like the shadow monarch that they know. But then of course, fast forward, then we see the betrayal. Like you said, it doesn't make a lot of sense because either way, at this point, you should know that, like, depending upon how it went down, unless some of the other monarchs had nothing to do with it, but it just doesn't, like, I don't know, it don't make sense for the other monarchs not to know about the betrayal or whatever. But like, you think at that point you would know either way that he wasn't on your side because you either betrayed him or he's not even the same guy. You know what I mean?
This is facts.
But I guess he may not also because the monarch acted like he completely took over the vessel that he chose. So maybe he was expecting or is expecting the shadow monarch to basically be in full control of Sung Jin Woo's body.
Or maybe about to take control of Sung Jin Woo's body.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so according to the flashback, if you correlate the flashback and where the Beast Monarch and the Frost Monarch, those two that were together, or is it, I can't remember which ones it was, but from the flashback, there was the Beast Monarch and the Demon or Baron were the ones that betrayed Sung Jin. There were no other armies there. So does that mean that the other monarchs didn't know about the betrayal in general? Because the Frost Monarch doesn't seem to know about the betrayal. He still thinks that the original monarch is going to take over Jinwoo's body. Matter of fact, are okay? So are the monarchs just taking over people's bodies in general and continuing their war? Is that what's going on right now? Because I really don't know.
That definitely could.
Because in the last chapter, they were talking about, like, it was something about what was the phrasing they used? Like, you're using like a non-fully like completed body, and was the same thing. Like, I'm fully taking over body, and you have not fully taken over body type situation.
Right.
So I mean, I feel like they're reincarnations, and maybe what the architect was doing has been done like a few times over, and for this reason, some reason, Sung Jin Woo didn't succumb to what usually happens. I mean, am I off on this?
No, I wouldn't say you're.
Say it again.
Oh, go ahead.
So I'm saying
Say,
like it seems like it is like whenever a monarch dies, they maybe the architect chooses another vessel, and they go through the process of reincarnating their original monarch through a vessel. But for some reason, Sung Jin Woo didn't succumb to the original Shadow Monarch's reincarnation, and he's still himself for whatever reason.
maybe the process isn't complete and there's still something that needs to happen before his body could be ready for takeover, quote unquote.
Mm.
I think it's going to be no. I mean, I think the Shadow Monarch chose not to take over Sung Jin Woo. You know, um, and maybe he's working with him or whatever. Because we've already seen the architect screaming at him. Basically, we've seen even Go Gung Hee now say, I've came in contact with celestial beings or shit like that, and you basically are the key type shit. Um, so I don't think it's a waiting for a moment to at least take over Sung Jin Woo, but I don't know. Like if you say the Frost Monarch, and let's say in this realm, elves, like in this realm, we know elves as ice elves, so maybe he just chose something that would best suit, you know, his type of monarch. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what these people are these things are doing, getting into what best can suit them as far as their classification. I don't know though.
Okay, I keep saying this, but I'm not 100% sure. But at the beginning of season two, I'm not sure if it
Mm,
was the end of season one or beginning of season two. They referred to Sung Jin Woo, and they said that the architect would take care of the situation between Sung Jin Woo, and they didn't
that
have
is
to worry about it. But for some reason, Sung Jin Woo at that point didn't succumb to being taken over by the Shadow Monarch. And we know that happened because when the architect realized that it wasn't the Shadow Monarch and it was Jin Woo, he was pressed. Like he was like, okay, this didn't work like it's supposed to, and then they had their battle when Sung Jin Woo won. So then later on, we get the little dialogue between Jin Woo and the Frost Monarch, and he's like, "Well, I'm a completed, being, and you're not."
correct.
Okay, so okay, the question I'm going to ask is, forget about that. We don't know the actual answer, but we do know that Thomas Andre had a portion of the ruler's power, and Sung Jin Woo, to my disappointment, washed him.
Mm.
It wasn't even a low diff fight. We can't even call it that. But are the monarchs that much stronger than what we're seeing now? Because
And are you meaning just in terms of Jin Woo, or are you just
I'm
meaning
I'm thinking Jinwoo at his current power. Because like I understand that the nation levels could be beaten that easily. I mean, even though it doesn't make sense story wise, there are still people that should be, and I mean should be, stronger than Sung Jin Woo because they're the last people to fight. There is no story if he can just wash everybody. So am I
just
to believe that the monarchs are that much stronger than what we've seen so far?
I would have to assume so, fam. This I would have to say yes, mainly because there needs to be a threat. There has to be some kind of big finale. And if the Monarchs are like weaklings compared to Jinwoo's current strength, then that's Solo's gonna be like the shittiest series ever created. But I'm gonna go out on them. I'm gonna say as of right now, they are stronger than Jinwoo, and I'm saying that mainly because I mean they was on par with the Shadow Monarch back then, and we know Jinwoo was nowhere near the Shadow Monarch's full power. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. Unless you would just want to believe Solo's going to be the shittiest story ever written.
Yes, Ario, the nation levels are definitely out of story. But look, to be fair to the nation levels, number one, Gogun he wasn't able to accept the strongest ruler's power. Like he was literally he didn't know about the power until it was given to him at the very end of his life. So therefore, like I mean, it seems like maybe I could be wrong, but it seems like the rulers number one they use gates and they pump magical energy into whatever world they're in, so they can come into the world and then defend against the monarchs. So
Right.
I mean, the rulers aren't able to use their full power because they need a vessel to use in order to use their power. So I mean, do I give nation levels a pass because the rulers aren't able to use their full power when they're in that vessel? Are we giving them a pass at that point?
No.
Because the monarchs, I mean, Jinwoo seems to be able to keep growing stronger, and the other monarchs seem to be stronger than the rulers at this point. How is this war even going on? Someone tell me.
I still can't give them a pass, bro. I mean, if they fought her, they fought her. That's all. That's all it is.
I mean, but they can't be fodder forever. The war is still going on, so
They can be fodder for the final threat. They ain't got to be fodder to all the the minions, but for the final threat, they're fodder, fam.
yeah. But I'm saying like they call them fodder. The wars been going on for years and years, so people continuously die on both sides.
Yes, but the monarchs never invaded before for all these years
Invaded. How do we know that?
because they haven't invaded. If they would have invaded, then everybody would be dead already. If
I
they
mean,
would have invaded Earth, everyone would be dead already.
oh, we're talking about Earth. We're talking like, but the story seems to be like going as in, for some reason, the rulers know where the monarchs are going next. So they open up gates, they pump magical energy to these gates, and then they appear in this world, and then the monarchs and the rulers have a war. This is not the first time this happened. You've seen this happen over and over again, according to the story. But this is a war that's been going on forever. So either the rulers have been stronger and the monarchs been weaker, or the power balance has been equal. The war doesn't stop just because somebody's stronger or weaker. People keep dying on both sides.
Yeah, but only the humans really are the ones that take the L. That's going to take a L from this.
Well, yeah, I mean, from this story, but there could have been quote unquote aliens or different worlds that have been through this already.
And I'm pretty sure they took a L as well.
Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but maybe this is like a wash, like both sides have come up equal. Go to the next world. Somebody's got to win, or it's a tie. No reason to go from what we learned from the past to the present. Nobody's won the war yet, right? I would think at least somebody's got to win, or somebody's got to lose eventually.
Yeah, the war isn't over, but battles have been won and battles have been lost on both sides.
Right.
That's what I'm assuming. So the war is still ongoing until somebody, completely destroys them all. And maybe that will be Jinwoo at the end of this story.
Hold
He
up,
will
but my
destroy them
question is, okay,
some kind of way.
okay, from both of you, are the rulers or monarchs just taking over other bodies to get war?
That's what it sounds like.
Trent, do you agree with that part?
And he's gone.
Sounds like it at the current point.
Wah, 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 wah.
I'm not going. I was just grabbing the water from the gas station on my way home. Restate the question.
So my question is, does it seem like to you that the rulers and monarchs are just reincarnating into different vessels and continue this war?
I had to sit in the car first, but yeah, I would have to say that's the only way. Unless that the other worlds just have so much magical energy that they can manifest purely. because wherever they were before, we saw them in what we can deem to at least say maybe is the ruler's true form. Like I don't know about the monarchs, but yeah, that's what it seems like is happening. They're traveling and basically dividing and conquering almost. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, if that's the case, that thing is happening. Even if Sung Jin Woo becomes super strong and defeats what's in front of him, like what stops them from coming back? Like what stops the rulers, what stops the monarchs from finding a different vessel and continuing this war? Like how does it end? What does it stop? It's been going on forever. Where does it stop?
Till somebody kills them all, bro.
Yeah, I mean, just because you killed them doesn't mean that the actual ruler is gonna, the ruler is just basically just an angel. He can pick another vessel and keep going. That's what's been happening. Like
Yeah.
Gogun He is the next in line, and all they're doing is finding brilliant lights and killing them. And they even said like it'll take you a year or two to find another vessel. But they're not even killing the actual ruler. Like, what is this? Where does the story stop,
Well, Christian said when they die, they die. They don't come back.
bro? The story, like, read the last chapter. He
Hey
said
man,
he
he's a
he
lightning
he,
operator,
he
bro. I'm just
killed Gogun He. Did he not kill him? Is Gogun He dead?
yes, he's dead.
So why
He's
in the
not.
world did the monarch say it'll take you a year or two to find another vessel,
I think he's referring to the monarchs. When they die, they die.
bro? Okay, Jin Woo is the Shadow Monarch. He's dead.
Why would he be returning? Why would he be referring to the monarchs though? Because he was literally saying he was
Well,
talking to Gogun He when he was saying how long it's gonna take you to re up. Like,
no, I was saying Christian said when they die, they die. Hence the demon and the giant monarch.
oh, the
Something
monarchs
like
you're
that.
saying.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then what is Baron then? Just like a reanimation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're saying Baron is a reanimation that he can't ever come back. But
Christian said the reason why is because the ruler wasn't inside Gogun He.
he's giving us. He says he's giving us power, but Gogun He like literally was a different person. Like he wasn't even talking like himself.
The ruler wasn't killed. The vessel was.
I mean, I get that. I get what you're saying, and I understand from a story standpoint what that means. But at the same time, I mean, like they haven't like done a good job of differentiating that. Hey, they actually said that the Frost Monarch was a completed version of what Jinwoo was. I mean, you can't tell me that if a monarch dies, that he is completely dead, and this war has been going on for that long. Monarchs just survive for that long. Like there has never
Immortal,
been one that
immortal
died.
beings.
On a what?
Immortal beings. They're immortal until they die. Like as far as lifespan wise, I'm talking about. They can live until they're killed, type thing.
Okay, so
Look, fam, you have to remember, JC, that with solo, you kind of have to turn your brain off a little bit and just enjoy the ride, bro. That's you. When you start thinking too much and be like, this doesn't make sense. It might be a reason for it.
so you
I'm
mean
not saying there is, but I'm just saying it might be a
so
reason for it,
okay,
bro.
so you mean to tell me this war has been going on
Hmm?
for this entire time? I mean, let's just say since the beginning of time,
Correct.
and the only, I mean, until recently, only monarchs that have died as Baron.
Baron and now the giant.
Okay, the giant. I mean, we were suspecting that the Shadow Monarch died, right? Because he was
Well, it was never said that the Shadow
okay. The
Monarch
Shadow
died.
Monarch didn't die, so Baron and now the Giant Monarch. It's been this entire time, and only one monarch has died.
Yep.
I I'm not gonna say that's bad story writing, but that's bad story. Okay, look, I don't.
Yeah, okay. When we're starting to get, I'm just hoping that we're all wrong here.
That's what I'm hoping to. Like,
Hope for the best.
that's what we're hoping for. I mean, like, I haven't read the light novel, so I don't know. But if that's what they're saying, that only this entire war has been going on, and only one of the leaders has died this entire time until
And
the,
that's
the
and
so
wasn't
the,
that
the giant
basically because
monarch died.
the Shadow Monarch killed Baron, the original one?
Yeah, the Shadow Monarch killed Baron, the original one. Yes,
Yeah,
that was it.
so only a monarch can defeat a monarch, mate.
I mean, I don't know.
Or maybe during the battles, like when one side was getting ready to lose, they will retreat, escape, go to another world, and then they follow, and vice versa. And the pattern goes on forever.
Look, I would accept that. I would give me that. Like, one side's losing, so they run to the next world because they have the, the advantage. I mean, I'll take that, but that's bitch made. I don't. There, I'm trying to refuse to think that the as much as I love this series, that the author, this is what he came to. But I just, as of right now, I can't. That's what's in my mind. He came to this, like, the ending of the story is a story that really never ends unless the monarchs die.
That would be correct.
Okay. So are the monarchs just so strong that the rulers couldn't kill them until they converted another quote unquote monarch to their side?
I don't think that's what it is. I just think they're probably either evenly matched in certain areas. And when one side loses or starts to lose and be on death row, they run and the other follow, and then it just reverses. The next side loses, runs, and then the other side follows, and it just keeps going. That's the reason why they're still alive. That's the reason why we're going from planet to planet. That's the reason why we ended up on Earth, because it's just a never-ending cat and mouse chase. Somebody has to die, and nobody is willing to stand there and fight it to the end. So we keep running, live to fight another day. Period. Congratulations, you have now completed the story of solo leveling.
So, I mean, is that the consensus of the group? I mean,
I mean, they can make portals and escape, fam.
that's what they're saying in the chat.
So who do you think is gonna make a port on the escape?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna make a portal this time, but I'm
I
just
think
saying.
if the story doesn't end in here, boys, we better not get. I tell you what, we better not get to the end of solo leveling and not have to call it trash.
Look,
We
Hey,
better not get to the end of the solo level and I have to call this motherfucker
bro,
trash, bro.
I am.
that's why I said, fam, turn your brain off and enjoy the ride.
That's Dragon Ball. That's what that is. Dragon Ball Z. That's what you do with Dragon Ball Z. But even Dragon Ball, look, even Dragon Ball Z makes more sense, and that was like the 90s, the 80s, and 90s, the 2000s. Like when you were like, no. You've had plenty of time to make stories and to make them make sense. This is 2021. Like, no. They're not doing, like, if I had to call Soul Leveling at the end of the day trash, I will do it. If they don't do this right, I will.
Yo, I got $5. I'm Blaine. I got $5 that's what it is, fam. I got so much money, that's what it is, bro. That explains everything.
Okay, say it again. Say the whole theory again that you're betting on.
Okay, Blaine said there better not be some time traveling conundrum. And I said, bro, that explains everything. That's exactly what it is.
Time travel.
This okay. We already know that they can teleport this way, that way, and stuff like that. So it has to be some kind of time travel to where they can go to, if not time travel, maybe traveling to another dimension, something like that. And they're just going and going and going and going and going. And maybe they go back in time, or they fast forward time and they go to this alternate dimension which is like absent from the current time, and that is how this whole story is going to go. Which,
So
if that is the case, if we're building on this particular theory, and that is the case, and Jinwoo has to kill the rulers, maybe, and said monarchs, Jin is going. Well, we already know he can teleport via shadow exchange. So this is all contingent on if Jin gets the full powers of the monarch, which we assume he will. And if this is then said case, then we're going to go into a strange time continuum and fight the monarchs until the end of time. Kind of sounds like a Future Diary type thing. If y'all ever seen Future Diary,
I have not, but it just
shout
sounds
out to
like
Future Diary, bro.
it sounds like
Is it good, bro? I started to watch a couple episodes.
no, you can't watch a couple episodes. Only watch like 3 episodes.
Future Diary is fire, bro. Watch Future Diary.
I've already watched some of Future Diary, JC.
Wow,
Asshole.
wow. But anyways, that's not what it's
It
about.
was years ago, but yeah.
So are we saying that like I feel like saying Sung Jin-woo is the same, even though he doesn't know he is the same. Like he was the same Sung Jin-woo past and present, and was fighting these monarchs, and they can't find a time period where they actually.
I don't think Sun Jin Woo is the same throughout the time period.
But I mean, like he's not the same as in like he's the same mind, but Shadow Monarch is the same Shadow Monarch that's been in the past, and then he has reincarnated the Sung Jin-woo. Then in the future, he's the same Shadow Monarch, same power.
Or maybe the monarch just keeps whatchamacallit into different people until the battle is over. Kind of like how the rulers do.
I think he's all also just caught up into this cycle of reincarnating and redoing the thing, but maybe eventually, since he is maybe just derived of a different power source, like I just feel like he operates differently. Like we have never seen anybody else, like nobody walk around with like two hearts or nothing like that, or like I just feel like, or Sung Jin Woo being embedded in the system or anything like that. I just don't think that there is like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I can't really tell what's going on. But you get where I'm coming from, though. Like,
I
um,
I get where you're coming from. I think
if he, yeah. So like, if the system, like, or if he, let's say he woke up as Sung Jin Woo, and then he was just like, or the system or the Shadow Monarch woke up as Sung Jin Woo or whatever, and was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna actually let this kid take control, and maybe he could do better than I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Well, yeah.
all right, yeah, fuck all that. Like, okay, so are we going to like your predictions? My prediction, and the question I'm going to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to know the answer to this. It's pure speculation. By the end of Soul Leveling, do you think you're going to love this series, or you're going to call it like, hey, this is not worth?
Not worth it in what kind of way?
As in, like, I'm not saying the series is bad, but the amount, like, you would give
The
it
amount of
probably an average rating. Like the series, I love the series now, but I don't
mm-hmm.
want to give it an average rating by the end of the series. Like, okay, it was hype, but at the very end, the story didn't live up to what I wanted it to be, or live up to its potential. Like, as of right now, I'm feeling like the story is not gonna live up to the potential. There's gonna be a million holes in it, and I'm like, you know what? It starts off hype, but it's an average story that I would read, but it's not anywhere near the best story I could. T-Bait probably going to be 10 times better than if I had to guess.
I mean, JC, we know Solo wasn't really like a deep story from the beginning.
I mean, I did not know. I didn't know it wasn't a deep story. I mean, I'm just now like within the last 10 chapters, like, okay, this is they fucking it up. Like
So in other words, you're just coming to terms.
yeah, I'm literally coming to terms, and I'm hoping they somehow even the story out. But like it's a good read. There were definite plot holes, but it was a good read. Like I recommend people to read it and go along with the hype. But as of right now, in my current state, as a 151, is that what chapter this is? 151. I'm like, they about to fuck this up, and it's about to be like, okay. I mean, I would recommend reading the first season, whatever, and then just turn your brain off. I don't want it to be that serious. I want it to be this. Okay, I recommend to read this and not feel bad for telling somebody to read.
I mean,
Now here's the thing.
All right, go ahead.
It's got to fuck up big time for me to be like Solo Leveling's trash is not worth the read. I still to this day will recommend Solo Leveling. There's no. Now here's the thing: if they don't touch on as deep as we've gone into theories, that's fine. It does make it make sense. That's all I need. Make it make sense, and I will still continue to recommend this series
I have a
because. Yeah.
for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time Jinwoo had a mid difficulty fight?
Baron.
Go ahead, Trent. What do you think?
Well, no, not Baron. I lied. Architect.
A mid difficulty.
A mid difficulty fight where you didn't know whether he was going to win or lose. That's a mid difficulty fight, and then of course he won the fight since where it gets to. Mid difficulty fight is at some point you didn't know if he's going to
win. Baron.
What about you, Trent?
Baru.
Baru? Okay.
What?
I'll give you that much.
All right, I can't get that.
Was that like
at that point in time, yeah. At that point in time, yeah.
Was that like season 1 and 2?
That was season. I want to say that. What's that? That was season 1. Season 1, because season 1 ended with Jin doing the gate in the middle of the street. So that was season 1 when he fought Baru.
So you guys mean tell me, because the Baru fight happened after the Baron fight. Season 1. What season are we in?
We are in season 2.
2? That was
Yeah.
season 3.
Nah, bro. Looks like season 2 is gonna end It's gonna end.
Okay.
The whole story, because it doesn't seem like there's much left, bro. Like they even said in the end of the chapter, the battle of the monarchs began, bro. So I don't even feel like it's
Yeah, I feel like the series will be over early next year.
Early next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going with what people were saying, and probably like this year, bro.
Look, all I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if it's season 1, season 2, season like 10. Season 1 was the last time you thought Jinwoo might lose a fight. Was when he first was learning about his powers and leveling up. That's a problem. Like as of right now, we don't think he's ever gonna lose a fight. And if he does lose a fight, he's gonna get jumped. The final bosses, which is the monarchs, have literally said it's not time to fight yet. Let me just run away. He got stabbed. Let me remind you, Thomas Andre with the same daggers didn't take any damage when Jinwoo had it in his hand and tried to stab him. No damage. Baru, back in the day, didn't take any damage from those daggers. And the Frost Monarch took a stab from those.
So JC, let me ask you a question, bro. If Solo ends like we're kind of saying, right? Let's just do hypothetical real quick.
Okay.
Where would you rank Solo on the scale of 1 to 10?
Of like all series?
Yeah, like
Hold
all
on, let me.
series that you've read thus far, all the things that we thought Solo was, and then turned out it wasn't. Where would you rank Solo on a scale of 1 to 10?
Let me refer back. Hale
Oh Lord,
on Twitter with my Twitter.
you have
Ooh, yes, I do. If you go to my Twitter, go to my only thing that's pinned to my Twitter, my
okay.
ranking scale.
Mm-hmm. What we looking like?
I mean, I have to give it if it stays on the current course of Jinwoo just being stronger than every opponent that he faces after the after he fights what's his name? Not for I can't remember his name. He was a fodder.
Uh, you talking about Goto?
No, no, no. Oh, Goto. He didn't. Goto was. Damn it. That was wasted potential right there. After the Monarch, the reincarnated Monarch, the demon Monarch.
Baron?
Yeah,
Baron?
Baron?
yeah. After Baron, like after Baron, there hasn't been anybody else that's been stronger than Sung Jinwoo. Like only reason like Baron lost that fight because it still literally like distracted him. Like he was about to blow Sung Jinwoo's head. That
Shout
was
out
the
to Baker.
last time he was really in super danger. Like if this goes along the same case, I have to give it like according to my scale on Twitter, I'm gonna give this like a 6.5. Like 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't like recommend soul leveling to anybody. It definitely wouldn't be the first thing. Like, hey, if you want to read your webtoon, like read soul leveling. Nah, I definitely TV it be first. Read that all day, every day above soul leveling. You want to actually good story. Soul leveling is hype. Like, if you're just a hype beast, if you're just like a meathead, you want to read something that looks good, soul leveling all day, every day. But as a story, as of right now, let's say improve it somehow. I can't recommend it. As much as I love the story, like if you just want hype, yeah, soul leveling great, go for it. But if you want a story, the story's not making sense. The story's not adding up. The story is like has so many holes in it that you just like, how can you not see it at this point? As much as I love it and I'm gonna continue to read it, like you giving me.
They're giving you fights.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a meathead aspect, but from a
They're
story
giving you,
standpoint, like
they're giving you fights. They're giving you a cool MC that overcomes every odd with minimum to little difficulty, and they're giving you some good artwork here and there. And yeah,
Now, this is why I think we'll get a little bit more time because we still know that Sung Jin Woo has to take an L, and we know he'll still have to recover from that.
I know
So
it's
I think we
coming.
still got time. I won't call it a meathead, it's purely meathead, even though it is.
I'm
But the
about to say
premise of it is also meatheadish. Like, yes, we haven't seen him struggle, but it kind of aligns with what's going on.
No,
Or
Kristen, no.
go ahead.
what is that?
What is that?
Kristen, I remember like so he might have took a little bit of damage from the daggers that he had. He took the daggers away, put them away because they weren't doing enough damage to Baru. He went hands to hand with Baru. It made Baru like literally submit, and then he did the whole, the dagger barrages that he was doing and that kind of stuff. But like, he went hand to hand with Baru. Anyways, that was just me.
All right, man. So I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up, man. So we all agree though that this is gonna be 10 out of 10 for the chapter. Or after the discussion, are we dropping it?
Like for respect for Goga and he and everything, like I don't know. I'm giving 9.5. Let's say 9.5 out of respect for Goku and the Heat, but I don't understand the Frost Monarchs retreat.
And it's the plot, fam. End of
It is
story.
the plot.
And also, what was up with that little joke in the second panel of the chapter?
What joke?
Not necessarily a joke, but he was like trying to think of look at the second panel. Like,
I don't have a pulled up, fam. Like,
What happened? I know. I remember him having him by his neck.
it may not be the second panel, but it was like when he was like trying to. It was almost like he was trying to remember who the nigga was, or some shit like that. Like he was like
oh
like
yeah, because
Oh yeah, the elf. What was that?
It was Jinwoo doesn't remember names, doesn't remember faces, and because of that, he thought that was the ISO from the very beginning.
Oh, I was gonna say, why would we even expect him to to remember him? But I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, because it's Jinwoo. Jinwoo's brainless when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I respect for Goku and the Heat 9.5, but I just please, just make it make sense. That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
So if it makes sense, you'll feel better
Yeah,
at the end of it.
yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the day, as long as they make it make sense and they do the story just as of right now, they're like they phoned it in. Like they just don't even care anymore.
I'm telling you, fam, they left Solo and went to Orf, bro. I don't know why y'all ain't see this from like the beginning of season 1. I told y'all this.
Yeah,
man.
but I mean, like I get.
I'll tell you what, the beginning of Orv ain't better than the beginning of Solo Leveling. I'll tell you that
Not
right
even,
now.
Solo is hype. That's why it's supposed to. Orv is a journey. Orv, you have to read. There's lore. There's twists.
I get that, but I'm farther than you are in Orv, and I mean Orv is good. Don't get me wrong; it's a great series. They haven't even like tapped the surface of Orv. That's the point.
That proves my point.
But I'm saying like it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. They could drop the ball later, but I mean Orv is good, but it's not great. They haven't even gotten into anything lore wise that would be like, oh, this is the craziest thing you ever seen.
But which is why I'm saying, like, look, it's a story. Orv is an actual story. The same with T-Bait. The same with One Piece.
Have you read Orv's light novel?
No.
Out
Okay,
like
I can't vouch.
that's
So
what
how
I'm
can
saying.
you vouch
reason
for
why I'm
story?
saying that
It's about as much story as we've gotten in Solo Leveling in the beginning. In the first 30-something chapters.
The reason why I'm saying that is because you can tell just from the writing that Orv has more story, has more depth to it than Solo in the beginning. That's plain as day. You can easily see that.
Like Orb, no, but the difference between Orb and Solo is Orb is just literally not telling you information until it's time to tell you. Like Dokja is literally like telling you information, or the story is telling you information when it's time to like, oh, I knew this part of the story because I read it, and this is what happens here. Like, it's not because like you should have known what happens because the story gave you clues. It's because Dokja knows things that you don't know because he's already read the story. That's different than you should have surmised what happened because of something the story told you. They're just not telling you things. That's different.
I
Dokes has read the entire story, so he knows what happens, but we don't because we're readers.
Okay, that's what a story is for. We're supposed to read and find out what happens.
Yeah, but you're also supposed to be able to, they give you clues and say, hey, because of this clue in the beginning of the story, you should have known.
We have.
Yeah, JC is just saying that they kind of loophole the exposition because they can at any time just say, oh, and by the way, I read this here and this is why this is that. Not necessarily, you're not really getting you are getting world building, don't get me wrong, but you're getting more situational explanations.
But with stories, you're not supposed to.
And in Solo Leveling, we don't need those type of, I won't say, you can't really say that it's doing more than Solo Leveling because the type of shit that we need from Solo Leveling isn't the same type. Like, we don't need current play-by-plays of Solo Leveling because we can easily wrap our minds around what's going on in that moment. The only thing we need is like
shallow. Of course, you can easily wrap
I
your
don't want to
mind
say.
around
I mean, I
I don't
get
want to
it.
say shallow, but even in the
style.
beginning, when they're breaking down the world and how the world works and the classifications of the hunters and Sung Jin Woo being weak and stuff like that, that was done very well. Even in today's chapter, I can't remember what they said, but it caught my eye. It was some good writing in today's chapter.
All I'm gonna say is when it comes to Dokja, like it's hard to say like whether or not if it's actually tension in the chapter or if it's the fact that he already knows what happens. So if you know the skeleton, the outline of how a chapter is supposed to go, maybe there are differences. But at the same time, like when it comes to the constellations and what they will or will not do, Dokcha knows the outline of the constellations. He knows which constellation will do what and what their tendencies are. We don't know that, but there are plenty of times in the story that Dokcha knows this, but he doesn't reveal that he knows it until the story says, like, oh, well, he knows this is going to happen. So that's why he didn't choose this constellation over another one. He chose the one that he did because he knew already. That,
Okay.
but
So what's your point?
that's the thing about it. Like, I mean, yeah, you could say it's good story writing because he knew already, but like for us that are just following the story, it's like, oh well, he knew already, so therefore it wasn't any like weight to it. There wasn't any consequences to it because he knew what he was picking.
Yeah, so in the
But
moments where he's
we've
choosing and looking and
also
reading about the constellations, if he already knows them and knows the functions and the justs of most of them, it takes away the. At first, it gives us like the suspense and the like, okay, I wonder what it is and all that other kind of stuff. But then when you realize the reader knows what the fuck is going on, it takes away the element of learning with the reader
but we've seen that he
or
doesn't
with
know every.
the main
But
character
we've
rather.
already seen, even where I'm at, we've already seen that he doesn't know everything. That things are happening differently.
Yeah, okay,
So
so
I don't see like why y'all missing that. Like
Some
okay,
things, but
obviously
not
he
no no.
doesn't know everything.
okay,
But you're right. But he knows enough to be a very big threat in a realm where a lot of people aren't even making it past their first couple tests.
And so do the
So
rest of the prophets in the story.
okay, but
the prophets in the story,
okay, yeah,
Yes,
you're going with the
he's
prophets
not a
though.
prophet.
The
but
prophets,
I'm saying that's the same thing. That's the same thing.
I mean,
So
I get what you're saying, but okay, let's just
We
start
don't
from
follow the prophets.
okay, yeah, exactly. So if you don't follow the prophets before the story even happens, when it comes to the train at the very beginning, when it comes to the Chunga mural with the guy who had the Gatling guns, I can't remember his name. When it comes to the movie scenes and even the boat scene, it didn't go exactly how we thought it should go, but he knew what was going to happen. Like he was saying, I need certain cues. Then he figured out the cues that he knew that it's gonna be fine. The Jurassic Park, like he knew all these things that say, "Oh, I know what's supposed to happen. I need to get to certain cues so I understand." He knew every step of it just because he didn't know, like certain like instances, certain cues. He knew what was supposed to happen. That's why he can always fool somebody. That's why he can always get to the next scene because he read the book. He knows what's supposed to happen. He knows what's supposed to happen before anybody else does. He's read the entire thing.
and
So
I never said he didn't.
that's what I'm
All
saying.
I'm saying is things have started happening where he doesn't know what's going on.
And at the same time, he doesn't want
Which
anybody
gives
else
it
does.
which gives it another element in depth.
Okay, let's just say the part where the big part where Jung Kook or Yo, the main character of the story, like he knew, like just because it was a difficult fight for him, he knew everything that happened in the story, so he knew what to do in that situation. It might have felt tense when the guy was taking over the main character's mind. It might have felt tense, but it really wasn't. The only thing that it was physically tense for him, but at the same time, he got out of situation because he knew the entire story. He said like, "Hey, you went through the main character went through this. He went through this. He went through this, and I can't believe you're letting this guy take over your mind." And like tension goes away But the only tension is there because we don't know what happened in the story, but he does. He has all the hacks. He knows where the items are. He knows what he needs to get to beat the certain area. But we don't know that. That's where the tension comes. But he knows all that. I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's a bad story because it's a great story. I love reading it, and I don't know what's gonna happen. He does.
So what does that have to do with you reading the story, JC?
Yeah,
Just because the MC knows what's gonna happen doesn't take away from the story.
but like
That
you,
has nothing to do with you as the reader reading the story.
but like you said,
If you're the MC, yes, okay. If you're the MC in that situation, it's your advantage. But you're just a reader following the story of this guy who just so happened to read arguably the worst light novel in the history of light novels,
right,
and he was the only one to make it through after 10 years.
right,
And now his world is turned upside down. The light novel he's read becomes his reality. But even though he knows how the story's supposed to end, things are happening and taking place that never took place in the light novel, which now he has to navigate and figure around to use the knowledge he knows.
right.
So the story is constantly changing from what he read, and now he has to figure out how to navigate around it to get to the ending of the light novel.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but as of right now, everything is going according to his plan because he knows what's supposed to happen. I'm waiting for the story to go not as he planned. Like, okay, this is how the story is supposed to go, but this is going in the total opposite direction. I'm waiting for the story to flip over. Like, hey, I actually don't know what's gonna happen here. Like when he first met the main character and he literally jumped into that big fish's mouth. Like, bro, like that was hype and that was crazy, but like he knew what he's supposed to do. He knew he's gonna make the deal with Dokubi and get this item. Like he knew. I'm waiting for him to get to the point where, hey, you know what? Even I don't know what's gonna happen right here. I know where it's supposed to get to, but I don't know how I'm gonna get there.
But what does this have to do with it being a good story?
Be,
That's what I'm not understanding.
because like if I know the main character knows how he's gonna get through each scenario and how the scenario is supposed to work, then there is no real tension.
So you're saying because the MC knows that what's gonna happen,
Yep.
that is not that good of a story.
I'm saying there's no real tension.
It's literally the same thing as Sung Jin Woo not being able to get beaten. If he like, they're both just
Yeah.
basically at
I
this
mean,
point
you
untouchable.
know they're not gonna lose because they know what's gonna like Dokja knows what's gonna happen. Sung Jin Woo is already stronger than every opponent he faces.
But Docha isn't stronger than every opponent he
But
faces.
he knows what's gonna happen. He knows how to beat them.
Just because you know how doesn't mean you can.
Yeah, even with that like Reaper thing, he knew not to kill the thing himself. Like that nigga was slit.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
know what I'm
But
saying.
I'm
Like
saying?
saying just because
He
you know
knows
how to
all the
beat
tricks and
something
traps.
doesn't mean you can beat them.
if you know the cheat codes, then how are you not gonna win? That's what Dokja
Yeah.
has shown this entire time.
If that was the case, he would have beat Jung Q in the fight and wouldn't have to go through all of that.
Yeah, but at the same time, he knows he wasn't stronger than him at the moment. This is why he didn't fight him. He knew that I'm not stronger than him right now, so I need to manipulate the situation. He knew that because he read his story already.
But just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you can actually do it.
But Dokja knows,
And he also
he
has the
has
fourth wall.
done.
He can see niggas' abilities and niggas' levels and shit.
He's known he couldn't beat him since the beginning, so he's manipulated his entire story.
But I'm saying that's what everything he's gone up against. Just because you know something doesn't mean you can do it.
Well, tell me
You can
something.
know how to shoot. You can know how to shoot a basketball, but you can't shoot a basketball better than Steph.
Okay. You tell me what Dokja hasn't known that he hasn't manipulated through the story. He knew he wasn't stronger than the main character, so he didn't fight him. He knew how to get items, so he did what he had to do to get the items.
He tried to fight him, and it didn't work.
No, he knew he couldn't beat him. He said, "I know I can't beat him."
But he had no choice but to fight him. Correct?
But did he try to beat him? No, he tried to talk to him. He talked to him until he did Naruto and talked to him until he talked him down. Like I mean, like the story is going on. Dokja knows everything, so therefore, where's the tension? Where is it? Show me where it is. Show me where Dokja doesn't think he's gonna win. Show me where it is.
But you just said Dosu doesn't. You just said that Dosu didn't think he was gonna win.
Not against the main character. So he knows he's not gonna win, so he used another method.
But isn't that the same thing as him not going to win? That what you just said?
No, I'm saying like if you know you're not gonna win, use another method until you can win.
Okay, so he knew, and
Like
he used another method, which is the same. Just because you know something doesn't mean you're
that means
going to
that means you
succeed. So you have to change plans and do something different.
that means you never lose. Just the same way Sung Jin Woo, you never lose.
Hey man,
Even if you use another method, you never lose. Dokja hasn't lost. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing about it. Like
oh my goodness.
eventually Sung Jin Woo's gonna lose. And you know what? I know that's guaranteed. So therefore, you're gonna lose sometime. I will love it, even though it's weird to see a main character want to see him lose. And eventually, the story will get away from Dokcha, and I will definitely love that also.
Alrighty.
Not the fact that he hasn't read it, but the fact that the story will get so out of control that the ending will be the same, but the story gets so out of control because of so many different variables that he won't be able to keep up with it. That's what I'm waiting on. Right now, everything is in Dokcha's calculations. Right now, everything Dokcha knows what he should do. So he's always a step ahead of all the NPCs and everything's around him. Right now, he's in control. But I mean, eventually it'll get to that point. But right now, it's not there yet. That's why Holly and I'm not sure if Blaine's read a light novel, but there's this main character that's a girl that everybody's waiting for to get to. There's so many things people waiting to get to say, oh, this is where the story's gonna go, but we haven't got there yet. Dokja is in total control of his situation and surroundings. When it comes to a flag, he knows where to get to. He knows who to manipulate. He knows everything. So therefore, right now he's Sung Jin Woo. He doesn't lose.
Alrighty.
I could be wrong, and I could be totally off base. Who knows? Blaine, listen. I mean, I get it. I understand. Hold on, look at chat. Hold on. Oh, Krista agrees with me, surprisingly. Actually, I'm current with all the chapters, Blaine. Butterfly effect. Oh, is it another chapter out? Okay. Apparently, I haven't read another chapter. It's a butterfly effect going on. So everything is supposed to happen doesn't happen, and Dokja's.
Of what? Oh yeah, I'm still a few behind, but from where I'm at, man, I still basically agree with Jason. I mean, yeah, I get what JD is saying though, but at the same time, I think there's points to be made on both sides. I don't think we can. I think the argument has tumbled, but I don't think that again, with the basis of the argument, I don't think that what as many chapters as we have of Orv is better than that same amount of chapters that we've had of Solo Leveling.
I don't remember how many chapters there are. Like 40 something of Orv and like 151 of Soul Leveling. Or
I just mean at 40, like if it's at 40, I don't think it's better than the first 40 of Solo.
Solo was great. I definitely agree. The beginning season 1 of Soul Leveling was what made the series so popular. Orb definitely has potential, but it is a little bit unfair for me at least to compare Orb at 40 to maybe 50 chapters to Soul Leveling as it is.
Medical return better than Orv.
I don't know what.
Me either.
55 of Orb, by the way.
Google image it.
Medical return. I have to read that. So, I mean, totally off base, totally different conversation. I'm not sure how I even got here, but solo leveling as of right now for me is going as hype as it is. If you're talking about a hype series, I'm talking about like 9 out of 10 for me. If you're talking about from a story standpoint, like it's slowly, and then fastly dipping down into the part where story just doesn't matter. But that's just me. You guys can like the series, love it however you like, but story wise, it's like too many holes for me to be like, okay, still better than Tower of God. But
I'm not getting into this. I'm not about to.
I had to. I gotta start reading that again, by the way. It's Tower of God is good. Don't let me troll y'all.
Yeah, I got to get back on it too.
All right, guys, that's it. I have took up enough of everybody's time arguing and yelling about the series. It is 12:10 here. I gotta go to work in the morning. So
Don't we all, man? Don't we all? By the way, I took care of the Discord thing.
So did somebody link Christian's channel? Or?
It's in the Discord.
you have to find Discord. Kristen always puts in Discord every time he does it. All right, guys, that's it. We're out of here, everybody. Thanks for watching. Putting up with especially my mess because I can go on forever. But anyways, we're out of here. Don't forget to follow everybody in the descriptions below. We'll see you guys next Wednesday or Tuesday. Hopefully, got something for debate Tuesday.
Yeah, it's been dry.
Peace.
Been dry.
Out of here.
Peace.
Now notice, I asked if y'all wanted to do T-Bait every other week. Now this man JD is canceling T-Bait 2 weeks in a row.
That's very true. He did cancel. I could have went for T-Bait
Well,
this week.
I could have went for T-Bait this week too.
I could have went.
Look, so you was gonna be able to off Kathleen on a cliffhanger, bro?
Yeah, I was ready.
Honestly, I haven't even read, so
So how you was gonna do something you ain't even read?
But I was gonna read it if you was gonna talk about it.
Oh my god!
Look, I read it. I could have went with it. I could have went with it. I could have went with the magic aspect of it. I could do some things. Anyways, we're out.
Look, three chapters.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize we were still live.
Yeah, we're still live.